Welcome to VideoSavvy Marketer podcast, which delves into fascinating world of video marketing. It's like exploring Narnia, but instead of witches, lions, and wardrobes, we have cameras, lights, and microphones. My name is Uroš. I encourage B2B tech product manufacturers to tell their story because you never know who is listening. Today, I'm joined by Nejc, Jamšček, a man who knows LinkedIn better than I understand why people voluntarily run marathons. He's a seasoned ghostwriter and LinkedIn strategist who's journeyed from doing Google Ads to becoming the Gandalf of LinkedIn. I mean, obviously without the beard, but equally powerful. We are going to talk about writer's block, repurposing content, and how to connect with your audience without sounding like you're reading from a script at a gunpoint. Nejc will share the secret sauce behind impactful content, leveraging personal experiences, and crafting a content strategy that resonates even with people who thought LinkedIn was just for spying on their former colleagues. So, without further ado, let's dive straight in. Hello, Nejc.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, I think it was about time, for me to.
Yeah.
Since, we live in the same town. And I will never forget, I met you on LinkedIn, through your LinkedIn posts. They really caught my attention. And we are literally living 500 meters apart.
Yeah, and we have never met, Zoom calls.
And you were my mentor for the LinkedIn parts. And we met once a week, right?
Once a week, yeah.
2 months passed by before we met. Yeah. All right, Nejc, tell us what you do.
All right.
Who is Nejc?
Who is Nejc? Yeah, a strange guy. No, basically, what I do for a living is ghostwriting. So I write LinkedIn content for others. And a bit of coaching. And apart from that, I like to paraglide, I like to ride my bike, I like to run and all these things. So in a short way, I like to do a lot of things. So,
awesome. Yeah. This is all one thing that we have in common is also
mountain
biking.
Yeah.
We need to go again.
Yeah, soon.
Now it's going to be summer, so it's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
Anyways, you were in army, right?
Yeah, I was for 3 years.
For 3 years. Yeah. So, do you think that being in army helps you post on LinkedIn every day? You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe a bit, because I think I was always a bit stubborn person. Also, for example, when I say that I'm going to do something, and if I really want to do it, I will just go 150% into it. But my weakness is that I can't diversify stuff. So I will just go all in one thing and I forget all the rest. So I'm learning more how to have more balance, because this is one weakness, if I can say that.
How not to be that focused.
How to do more things, how to have more balance. Because if you go all into one thing all the time, usually it's not the best. At least for me, it wasn't.
Yeah, it can burn you out also.
Yeah, also you lose some friends, you problems there, problems here.
Yeah, I can imagine. But you're so dedicated, to a goal or to something. And I know what you're talking about, because I can get myself into that stage, if I can say it like that. But it's not that, it's not that easy for me, But I know what you're trying to say. When you're totally focused on one thing and you want to achieve it, and you put everything that you are, everything you have,
and ignore the rest.
Ignore the rest. It can
it's
be
quite,
it's
not really healthy, I think.
It's not really healthy.
And a lot of people don't understand that, I also think.
And don't forget that I think that our Western culture also is pushing this a little bit, this hustle, way of living. I think we are coming down from this a little bit. But life is not just about work, if you ask me.
No. For sure, for sure.
It's about flying
No,
and riding
yeah,
bikes,
because like in the past, right now, I'm really try to, okay, I will work during the morning, and then in the afternoon, I will just take some time off and do other things, like to switch off. Because I was struggling a lot with switching off. I was just thinking all the time about work, about like what I need to do and all these things. But then I really needed to find some activities that like help me to switch off, because I will also think a lot better and have like more sharp mind and all these things. So
all right, tell me, how did you start? I mean, you grew on LinkedIn like in 1 year, a lot, huh? Like from 0 to 10K in 1 year, right? Which is like I grew in 1 year for like I think it's 800 followers. You're doing something right and I'm doing something wrong, I guess, you know. So just can you share with us, like, do you have a special process for that, or let's start at the beginning? How did you came into it, and how did you start?
Okay, so like the pivotal moment for me was I was a freelancer before. For 4 years I was doing advertising, so Facebook, Google Ads for e-commerce businesses. But then I want to pivot into something else because I had enough. And then I watch on YouTube a lot of videos how these people build their audiences and then just monetize in some way, building products and selling to them. And I said, okay, I will try it because I thought you have like a lot more leverage if you have an audience around you, so you can sell to them and also like provide your service. And then I just started like it was last year in February. So I said, okay, I will post once per day and for 1 year at least. And I give myself like 1 year. And then I just started. Every day I posted at the same time. But at the beginning, I didn't know what I'm doing because I didn't know what to offer people. So I didn't have any offer. I just know that I wanted to pivot away from advertising. And with time, whenever I talked like about content or writing, I got some traction. And like people were asking me in DMs, like for some help around writing. And then I spotted an opportunity. And from there, I started ghostwriting and coaching.
So if I understand you right, when you started on LinkedIn, you didn't have any clue what to write about.
I was learning on the go. I was basically learning on the go and figuring things out.
So then you saw an opportunity in storytelling and writing,
right?
And you went for it. And that was it. Awesome.
This was it because I figured out on the way. But regarding storytelling, it's quite interesting because if I checked all my older posts, they were all, I was just talking about my experiences around like freelancing. And I was telling stories basically. It was mainly stories. And those stories got me some traction. And then, with time, I saw like what works, what doesn't work. And I just doubled down on that.
But you mentioned stories. Like, do you have any special way, or like what is a story for you? Like how do you define story in your mind? You know what I'm trying to say? I mean,
like
does it have a structure?
I have like in my eyes, like the stories. If you talk from your experiences and if you tell a story about something that happened to you. And that moment or that experience, let's say, gave you a lesson or you learned something from it. So on LinkedIn, whenever like I think about stories or when I write them, I think like what experience did I have? And then I just write about those experience and turn like into a lesson, advice, or something for the reader. So for the people that haven't experienced those things.
Interesting.
This is how I imagine a story.
Yeah.
Because like story, I think many people get this wrong, but story is not like about you, it's about them. So you need to like switch it up. So you talk to, you write for the reader. In
Now
a way.
you mentioned something really important, because I mean the way I perceive stories is, I'm a videographer, so I always perceive story through this character arc. At the beginning you introduce the character or the environment, then you have this the like some kind of pain point of the character, or he has or she has some kind of, she's in or he's in trouble, whatever. So and then you have the peak, where this problem gets solved, then you have like catharsis, and so you have this kind of triangle basically. And why, like, I'm asking myself, like, why are we so attracted to this story, like all Disney stories or cartoons and so on and so forth? I think that in those characters we see ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Like Lion King was brave, and he was backstabbed by his I think it was his uncle, whatever, it doesn't matter, but like we all have these experiences of being backstabbed. I mean, it happened to you in one point in life, and you connect with this on an emotional level, and that's why they are so potent stories. And this is also one of the things that I try to do with my work, is like to find the story in the product, or find the story behind the company, which is really hard sometimes, because it's hard to talk about this. And like, this is my next question to you. You said before, okay, find experience that you have and share it. Don't you think that's hard?
Yeah, I think it's hard, but I think when you start writing every day and posting content every day, you learn how to like self-reflect, because you need to self-reflect a lot. And also, like, stories can be told in many different ways. You can like inspire people, you can teach them, you can sell them, because in the end, like, stories make you feel something.
Yes.
And like, people act based on emotions. And also, if you want to sell, people will act because of how they feel. So this is why it's like important to evoke emotions, and stories do that.
This is something again interesting, because I'm coming from B2B world. I was under the impression that in B2B world, facts, figures. In certain aspect, that's true. Because like B2B company, they invest into new gear or new production line, whatever. If they can rationalize it to themselves, like why should we do that? Because our production then goes, we can produce more, or whatever. It has to have a monetization type of a incentive for them.
Agree, because
but at the beginning, for them to act, every individual acts upon emotion, and it doesn't matter if you believe in this or not. This is like universal truth of human beings, because we are all human beings, and we will always act according to emotions.
Like they say that people act with based on emotions, but they justify with logic.
Exactly. Yeah. First, we want to have something because we feel like, I wanted to buy the MTB bike because I felt in love with riding fast, and I wanted to, and I was watching those guys, on YouTube. I would also like to go that fast down the hill, and then I wanted to buy it, and then I saw the price and was like, wow,
this is another good point.
But I scratched together the money for it, and then like, I was like telling to my girlfriend, yeah, but I need it because then I'm going to exercise more, and I'm
Yeah.
going to be healthier, and blah blah. And I cannot go. I also used to paraglide, and I stopped because I realized that I'm afraid of heights.
Yeah, you said that.
And yet, so there was the rational part of me,
Yeah.
wanting the bicycle, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's really interesting. Like when I talk with some people that I know from LinkedIn, um, especially some coaches that are selling some programs, like high ticket for 2K plus, they said that like some stories, especially if they are like transformation stories, like if you talk like I was there and now I'm here, and people see themselves in it, and they just take action based on that because they want the same. And this is really interesting. Yeah,
It is interesting, yeah, how we think we are rational, but we are totally emotional.
Yeah, we are for sure.
I mean, it depends on each individual. I think as you said before, you need to have this self-reflection.
Yeah, a lot. Yeah.
I would say, this is my personal opinion. Maybe I'm wrong, but the more you can self-reflect, the more you can have this. You can like observe yourself. The more you can have a control over your emotions.
Yeah, this is good point.
All right, but let's get back to LinkedIn a little bit. So you said you were just starting. You were writing whatever, if you can say, at the beginning. You didn't know exactly where to go.
No.
And then you struck a chord with storytelling, right? Or with writing?
Yeah,
okay.
With writing, yeah.
Why do you think that is? Do you think that like this is because I see a lot of people who are talking about writing,
but
are really they have a lot of traction on LinkedIn. Do you think this is because everybody on LinkedIn wants to, like, if you come on LinkedIn and you don't know what to do, your pain point is writing, right?
Yeah, I think like for me, how I approached this was at the beginning I was talking like everyone said, yeah, you need to develop a customer persona, you need to create an offer, create a customer persona, and then just write like around their pain points, problems, solution, desires, and all these things. But I didn't have that, and what I did was I imagined myself like, I don't know, 6 months ago, and then I wrote to myself. So I attracted people like who were the same as me, just a few steps behind.
All right. Okay. This is really.
This is good, and I do the same right now.
Okay.
But people like have a bit of misconception about this. I don't mean that you write to your clone at the same position. You write just to people with the same problems around a certain topic or in certain area that you had X time ago. And you solved that problem for yourself, so you can help those behind solve the same problem,
Yeah.
And this for me was writing and LinkedIn and all these things.
Interesting. I mean, this is really, really, really interesting concept. Like how you came, because like I also have quite a lot of challenges.
Yeah.
What to write? Okay, through after a year.
Yeah.
Okay, now I have a strategy. I know what I want to talk about. But I see with a lot of my clients, they are aware. They need to create content. They need to be out there. But what I see is that more or less all of them are just talking about their products.
Yeah.
And that kind of doesn't work on any. I mean, it doesn't work on social if you only talk about your products. So, like, what would you propose for these people? Like, what should they? How can they find the 6 months back Nejc? I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's quite interesting because if they have a product that is not like for a person
Mhm.
they were X time ago, this
Mhm.
doesn't work.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
But I think like in general, people like I think forget that the business people do business with people.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I imagine it like this, especially when when you're building a personal brand on
Mhm.
LinkedIn. I imagine this like that you are the bridge from a customer
Mm-hmm.
to your offer or a product.
Mm-hmm.
So I think instead of pushing a product all the time, you can just like talk about more insights into your business, your journey, and all these
Mm-hmm.
things. So you will attract people interested in that, and you can
Mm.
mention like your product also a bit.
Yeah. Uh,
Because all these things, the point is that if you talk like about insights, about your experience, like what you do in your
mm-hmm.
business, this is unique to each person.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm.
people can't treat this anywhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, people are interested in that because I also see this for myself. Whenever I talk about some insight or some
Mm.
stories or something like that, I
Mm.
get like, quite good engagement and people are interested.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. So, guys, write about your insights.
Yeah, I will
Yeah.
say that this is because I was also thinking that the one mistake that people make,
Mm-hmm.
at least from my point of view,
Mm-hmm.
is they are trying to push some like push content out. Like pushing means that they are telling people what to do, what
Mm.
to. They're pushing advice to them
Mm-hmm.
instead of pulling them with them or
Mm-hmm.
to them.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that because it goes on my nerves a lot
Yeah. Yeah.
lately,
Mm-hmm.
and you can still find a lot of this kind of content
Yeah.
on LinkedIn. I mean, yeah, I know where this comes from. Like marketing in general is
Yeah.
about sharing knowledge
Mm-hmm.
without expecting anything in return.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so yeah, this like I know these guys and gals are just sharing their knowledge, but that's the way it's packaged. It's like you need to do that. No,
No.
no. The only thing I need
Say.
to do in life is die.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
anything
Exactly.
else is my
Because
choice.
it's better to say, okay, I help this client with this,
Uh,
this,
uh-huh.
and at the end you can say, okay, if you want the same,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
yeah, contact me or something like that. So
mm-hmm,
it's better if you talk about insights
mm-hmm,
or that you're interesting for other people,
mm-hmm.
and yeah, you will like attract them. You will pull them to you.
Yeah,
Instead of pushing, yeah, do these 7 tips you need to do or something
yeah.
like that.
Interesting. Yeah. Um. Yeah. Okay. I don't know when was the last time. I mean, yeah, for sure. I still write a post from time to time, like with the 7 tips you need to do, but
Yeah, but it.
I don't tell it like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like the last time I was actually talking about podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just trying what I was trying to say is that in this day and age today, like everybody, everybody has a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So why do it?
Yeah.
Why would you do it? Well, because you can get a lot of content to recycle it from,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
shorts, blog posts,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So it's the most economic way, if you ask me, to produce a lot of content in a short amount of time.
Yeah.
And I didn't say like you do this, and this, but I just said like, yeah, like podcasts are good because of this, and this is how we do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is how I would do it. And
Yeah.
that was it.
Yeah, way better because the
Yeah.
point is that, especially at the beginning,
Mm.
when you don't have like a big audience and
Mm.
people don't know you, if you push some advice or something like that, if you're just telling people have no reason to listen to you. But with time, when you create fans and all these things,
Mhm.
yeah, you can push a bit because they know you, they know your background,
They trust you.
they trust you,
Mhm.
so they will like listen to you no matter how you will say it.
And how do you think is the best way? Well, this is a rhetorical question,
Mhm.
now, of course. How do you think is the best way for people to get to know you?
I will tell a lot of stories.
Yeah, this was a rhetorical question. Yeah, sorry.
I will tell a lot of stories. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot. Because, like I always said, that experiences will always like beat theory.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And everyone has experiences, and you don't need like some huge company.
Yeah.
Because each person have unique experiences, and why not sharing them?
Yeah. Okay, you said that you are a ghostwriter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you, of course, you write a lot of content also for yourself on LinkedIn. Like, or do you ever have this writer's block, or the imposter syndrome, or the Mr. Critic inside your head just wakes up and he doesn't
Yeah, I had some periods when I had like writer's block, but I found out that because I was just overthinking things.
Overthinking things. Okay.
Yeah, because what I was at the beginning, I didn't have writer's block, like never. But then with time, like your audience grows and you start to feel pressure that you need to provide as much value as really quality content all the time. And then you start to overthink, okay, what do I need to like create so they will like it. And you wanted to like please everyone. And I caught myself a lot of time in this. And then you start to think like I have like hundreds of ideas written down. But I just started to become picky. Oh no, this is not good enough. No, this is not original. No, this is too generic. Yeah. And then I think this is the cause for a writer's block.
Yeah, like you said a couple of things. It's kind of raised some flags. And I see myself also in these shoes, and I bet that many of people who are listening to this podcast are the same. Like, we try to please others because and once you take this game of creating content seriously, then of course, you think how can you provide more value, better quality, and so on. And it can be it can pull you in, and eventually, at least this was me. I also have like this long list of ideas, and none of them are good.
I know
none of them are good, And now that you said, like, it kind of, wow, okay, this is my problem, because you said I'm overthinking it. But why do I overthink it? Because I have the imposter syndrome. Because I think I'm not good enough. Because
it happened.
What I have to say is not good enough, and whenever you write then or just post from your experience, and you think in your head, oh shit, nobody's going to like this, like people are going to start to laugh at me or whatever, in the end you kind of realize that people don't do that. Nobody laughs that, right?
But with time, you learn, and you just don't give you don't care. At least for me, what helped me is I don't consume so much anymore, and I try to write what I really think. And it doesn't matter if it's what opinion is it, like what beliefs. I just try to write as I think. Because another thing is that I think people get a bit wrong. They are afraid to tell their opinions or beliefs as they are. And because of it, they try to make it soft. Because they're afraid of hate comments or that others will judge them, like others will not like them. And because of this, they blend in. But like on social media, you need to stand for something.
Yes.
And you need to express what you believe in and what you don't believe in. And this is it, because in reality, some people will like you and some like won't.
And that's okay.
And this is it.
Yeah.
But those who will like you way more than if you're like somewhere in the middle, if you blend with the norm, let's say.
Again, like, this is gold, if you ask me, because I see so many companies, I mean, not expressing their beliefs, not expressing their values, but not because they don't, maybe because because this is again my personal opinion. Don't judge me for it, guys.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It's really hard to look inside yourself and
Yeah.
to go inside and do some soul searching.
Yeah.
And now imagine, now you have a company with 100 employees.
Mm-hmm.
Like some of them are not going to do soul searching.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't have. I mean, they're not there to do that. But I truly believe that the leaders need to do that.
Yeah.
And then write about this, like like write the mission statement, write the values, share them with
Team.
with management,
Yeah.
and then share them with the rest of the team. And if everybody comes on board, like then you have the Apple effect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was also thinking about that, like, if I would need like a job or something like that, okay, one is you will look a salary, but if like CEO or something like that has a strong like personal brand and he's posting content and I like the vibe and everything, I will go there much likely than to someone else.
And I think this is going to be even more important with younger generations. Or at least I was told that. I don't know. But again, I remembered about something. Like most of the things we do videos of tech products. This is what we love. We are geeks and we love to do tech products. But we have one client that does renovation.
Okay.
National heritage renovation. They're renovating old sculptures, churches, mostly churches. Because Slovenia, we have tons of churches.
Okay.
You know? And it's so, like, this is totally away from everything that we do. But we love to work with them. And I was thinking like this, in this period now, last couple of months, I was thinking because we really want to like nail down this product video stuff. So the work that we do for them is way off of our product video stuff, you know. And I was thinking like, why is there is a pull? Like, why is it pulling me so much towards this company to help them and to work with them? And I realized that their boss has this, like, he articulated their mission really, really nicely. Like he said, we are preserving Slovenian national heritage. We are here because Slovenia is full of beautiful architecture and beautiful buildings. And if we don't fix it, the time is going to destroy it, and our children and children's children will not know it. And I think it's a shame that people don't know it because it's so beautiful. And I super connect with this. Like, yeah, I agree. Like, we need to preserve this national heritage because it's our heritage. It's what Slovenia is, basically.
Yeah.
And although they are totally different industry than what we do, you know, I still love to work with them because of this.
Because of
this, you know?
Because they have a mission behind.
Yeah. And I perceive the mission as something noble.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is, I think, and again, like, we can talk about storytelling here. This is also one of the ways how you can incorporate storytelling in content or whatever, you know, through this mission statements and values. But for that, you need a little bit of soul searching.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I can imagine that, first of all, not all the people are willing to do that. It's okay. Like, and on the other hand, it's really hard. It can be really, really, really hard.
Yeah. I can imagine. Also not only for a company, but also for yourself.
Yeah.
To express like what's your like mission or purpose.
Have you done this? Like, have you been so?
Yeah, I was thinking a lot about this. Yeah, what do you want? Like,
are you willing to share? Like,
yeah, I can't articulate in a way yet.
Okay.
I know the feeling inside, but I just can't put it into words.
It is,
But
I know what you're talking about because I was doing this for the last 2 months.
Yeah.
and I was writing it and rewriting it and writing it and rewriting it, and I had some vague idea like where I would like to go.
Yeah.
And it was really hard at the beginning to articulate it, as you said.
Yeah.
And I helped myself a lot with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I'm just going to admit it. Because it just helps you articulate thoughts, words, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it took a lot of time for me to find that one statement.
Yeah, I
that
want. Yeah.
Whenever I read it, it's like
Yes.
exactly,
I need to find also
this is
that.
why we're doing this.
Because I know I can write like one page what I want, like exactly, but I want to condense it in like one statement.
Yeah.
And this is it, and
I imagine that if you are writing and posting on LinkedIn every day, eventually you're going to run out of ideas.
Yeah.
Of what to write, right?
Yeah.
So how do you repurpose your content, and how do you do that?
Yeah, first I want to say like especially like when you're starting to build your personal brand, it's good to set some constraints for yourself. So you're not talking about everything, but you like create a content pillars, so you stay like inside them. So people with time, they associate you with those topics. So you start to be known for something. So yeah, with time, like you need to repurpose a bit because eventually you can run out of ideas. And also it's smart move because if some posts like performed well, why not to double down on them?
Exactly.
Because this is all basically it's pretty smart and important if you ask me. So how I do it is that I have like different strategies. Like on LinkedIn, you can post text, you can post a graphic, and you can post carousels. So one thing you can do, you can turn carousel into a text or text into a carousel. The second option is you can switch like your post around. Like you can tell a story about one idea, and then you take this idea and turn it into, let's say, a different post style. It can be contrarian view, for example, or observation, or your opinion, or something like that. Or you can just like restructure or rewrite your older post. But I take like, I look 3 months back or 2 months back, and then I reuse it. And then the third option is, which is like my favorite one, I never search for inspiration on others people's posts.
Okay.
I look for inspiration on my posts.
Okay.
Because each post, if you look at like, read it carefully, there are some lines in it that you can reuse. So I go over each post, and whenever I see some good lines in there, I expand on those lines into a new post.
Okay.
And this is it, and it becomes like a flywheel, like endless idea generator. And also you can like, if you have a newsletter, you can expand top performing post into a newsletter, longer newsletter, and then again, this long newsletter will give you like 5 more ideas you can turn into a LinkedIn post, and then again. So this is how I do it.
Interesting. I mean, have you ever thought that people, like if you're reusing your old ideas and old content, that people are going to like remember that, and they're going to say, oh, you already said this, you already posted about that?
Yeah, I think if you just copy paste your old post from 2 months ago, they maybe will notice, but I notice some people are doing that. Some of my friends are doing that, but they still get quite good engagement and performance, because in reality, for myself, I even don't know what I posted last week. But yeah, if I see, I will.
Okay. I know what you're trying to say. If you forget,
I think people, don't like remember as you think.
Yeah. Okay. Now I see that this is only in my head, and this is again like my imposter syndrome. Here again, trying to get in my way.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you're explaining this. While you were explaining how you're repurposing content, I got the feeling that you have a lot of things like structured, like you have structured posts and so on.
Yeah. Basically, first when I started, I wrote everything in Google Docs, but it was complete mess.
Okay.
But then I started to use Notion, and with time I built a system around this.
Okay.
So for content, I have like a calendar. Each post has tags, so it can be like topic, stage of the funnel, so top, middle, bottom. Then I have a post style, so this can be like if it's how I post, if it's story, if it's an opinion. Then I have post performance. I put this tag after the post is live, so after a couple of days.
Okay.
And then I have also CTAs, if I put some CTA or not. And this is basically it. And now with time, like 1 year, I have every post in there, so I can filter it easily, like based on performance, based on the topics, based on the post style. And I can just repurpose. Okay, I see one post that performed really well from 3 months ago. I take it, I repurpose it, and so on.
If I understand you right, you did like your own database of posts.
Yeah.
And you can filter.
I can filter everything.
Awesome.
Like everything. But what's the
like this
best
is really
type?
geeky behavior, you know?
Yeah, but because I think it's cool. I don't know.
It is, exactly.
Yeah, because I have everything without overthinking and without like, a mess. And it's much easier.
Recently, you launched a new product. What is it about?
Yeah, basically what I did first, I created a lead magnet. This was like last summer. And I put some like this content creation system, but it was the previous version, so it wasn't so good. And I got like 700, almost 800 subscribers. But with time, people started asking me about like some post templates and all these things, and I also gathered some ideas from consulting calls. So I put something together, and basically I put this content creation system together that I have for myself. Then some post templates, so people can just use the post structure with a breakdown. And then everything like how to repurpose content, how to format, how to write a story, everything. Basically, I break down everything that I know and just package it up into a product. And this product, we talked about like write to yourself from like 6 months ago. And this product is basically for me from to when I started.
Awesome.
So this is like how I did it.
Cool. I love this concept of teaching your audience through yourself, like through your past self, because then you. I mean, this is genius because you always know what your audience is going through because you went through that.
Yeah, exactly, and you can be really relatable.
Exactly.
And the point is also, I listened to some podcasts and read some newsletters, but the point is that the beauty of that is that, like, you're on some journey and you encounter some problems on the way. So I started on LinkedIn like 1 year ago. I have many problems with writer's block. I didn't know how to write, blah, blah, blah. And I solved all these problems myself. So I sell just the solution to those people who have that problem right now.
Yeah.
So this is how I look at it.
This is really genius.
This is how I look at it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think we I don't know how
covered.
to say it. Yeah, we covered. I wanted to use a Slovenian word, but I won't because this is an English podcast. Anyways, yeah, Nejc, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
for coming and sharing.
It was cool.
And hope, I mean, of course, we're going to see each other because we live.
Yeah, we'll go on the bike.
We need to go on bike. But yeah, thank you for coming. And next season, you're going to be invited again.
All right, cool.
So with the next product that is going to teach people who are in the position that you are right now.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. Thanks for having me. Yeah.
Thank you. And that's a wrap. A massive thanks to Nejc for enlightening us about the importance of personal branding, content creation, and the power of storytelling on professional platforms like LinkedIn. I never thought that starting without clear direction could eventually lead to discovering your niche, kind of how wandering into the kitchen at 10:30 p.m. can lead you to profound realization that Nutella does in fact taste better at night. I had a massive breakthrough while going through Nejc's The Impactful Writers Pack, link down below, because lately I have the feeling that a lot of people suddenly turned into my aunt who never passed her driving exam, but she's giving me advice on how to drive from the backseat of my car. Nejc says that talking about your own experiences and mistakes changes the game, and he is right. Suddenly it became less about playing the all-knowing guru and more about being the friend who says, hey, I made that mistake too. Anyways, I hope this episode brought you tons of value. Share it like there's no tomorrow, hit the subscribe button like it's the snooze button on your alarm clock, and drop us a line in the comment section down below. See you in the next one, but until then, stay savvy.